Let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked around at this world and just felt like something was off? Like the system was never really built for you to thrive? Like everything from school, to work, to media, was all designed to keep you tired, distracted, confused, and broke? You're not imagining it. You're not paranoid. You're just waking up. Today, we're going deep. Because this world, this society, this system doesn't want you strong. It wants you weak. It wants you quiet. It wants you broke. But we're done playing that game. Let's talk about why they want you weak and broke, and how you break free. Before we get into this life-changing message, take a moment to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment below. Your support doesn't just help the channel, it helps the mission. Every like pushes this message further. Every comment becomes part of something bigger than us. We're not just creating content, we're building a movement. So show love, stay connected, and let's keep growing together. Now let's get into it. It starts young. You're born, full of potential. But they don't nurture your greatness. They mold you into a follower. You go to school. They don't teach you how to think. They teach you what to think. They don't teach financial freedom. They teach dependence. They don't teach emotional strength. They teach suppression. They don't teach truth. They teach compliance. Then they label you. They grade you. They compare you. They tell you who you are before you ever get the chance to find out for yourself. You're trained to seek approval, to fit in, to chase validation from a broken system. And before you even hit 18, your spirit's already been bruised. That's not education, that's indoctrination. Now you're in the real world, whatever that means. And what do they hand you? Debt, loans, credit, chains that look like opportunities. They say, go to college, it's the only way. Now you owe $60,000 before you make your first dollar. You graduate, get a job, and that job barely covers your bills. So you get a credit card, a car loan, a lease you can't afford. You're not building wealth. You're feeding the system. You don't own your time. You don't own your labor. You don't even own your thoughts anymore. Because when you're stressed about surviving, you're too tired to start thriving. They don't want you free, because a free man is dangerous. A free woman is powerful. A free soul? That's unstoppable. Mental fatigue is the new weapon. They don't need to enslave your body when they can occupy your mind. What are you being fed every day? Negativity, fear, drama, FOMO, gossip, distractions. Social media is a circus. The news is a panic attack. And entertainment? It's programming. That's why they call it television programming. They are literally programming your mind. They want you chasing likes instead of chasing purpose. They want you comparing your life to highlight reels instead of building your real one. They want you addicted to screens instead of connected to your soul. Because when your mind is clouded, you can't hear God. When your heart is anxious, you can't walk in peace. When you're distracted, you forget your destiny. Let's talk about food. Because what you eat is a spiritual thing too. They fill the shelves with poison, sugar disguised as snacks, toxins disguised as flavor, addiction disguised as convenience. And guess what? The same companies selling you garbage are selling you medicine. It's all a game. Make you sick, then sell you the cure. When your body is tired, your spirit is tired. When your energy is low, your confidence is low. When your mind is foggy, your decisions are weak. They want you sick. They want you sluggish. They want you sedated. Because healthy people ask questions. Healthy people rise up. Healthy people fight back. We live in a world where celebrities are worshipped, and truth tellers are silenced, where clout is more valuable than character, and deception spreads faster than wisdom. Ask yourself, why does the algorithm push nonsense but hide wisdom? Why is ignorance viral and truth shadow banned? Because the truth sets you free, and freedom is not profitable. The media wants you confused, worried, always in a state of reaction, so they can keep you on a leash, emotionally, mentally, financially. But you weren't born to be programmed. You were born to be powerful. You were born to walk in truth. You were born to follow God, not the algorithm. Here's the most dangerous truth. They want to erase your identity. They don't want men strong in purpose. They don't want women walking in divine power. They don't want families united in faith. They want division. They want confusion. They want chaos. Why? Because confused people are easy to control. Lost people are easy to lead astray. Isolated people are easy to manipulate. They want your identity wrapped in brands, your value measured in likes, your worth tied to status. But let me remind you, your identity isn't found in what they give you. It's found in what God already put inside you. So how do you break free? You wake up. You start asking the hard questions. You disconnect from the noise. You feed your soul. You reclaim your health. You build your wealth, your way. Learn what they don't teach. Financial literacy, emotional intelligence, discipline, real history, real nutrition, real faith. And most importantly, you reconnect with God, because the world wants you to worship culture. But culture didn't create you. God did. You want to break the cycle? Start by taking your life seriously. Every decision, every thought, every dollar, every moment. You are not here to survive. You are here to transform. You are not weak. You've just been lied to. You are not broke. You've just been disconnected from abundance. They built a world to keep you small. But God built you for something unlimited. You are the glitch in the system. You are the fire they can't put out. You are the threat they fear. The revolution, it starts with you. Wake up, rise up, and don't you ever shrink again. What if I told you that most of what you were taught in school was never about truth? It was about control. What if I told you that the history books are edited, that the curriculum is filtered, and that the past, the real past, has been buried beneath layers of lies? They say knowledge is power. But if that's true, then hiding history is the greatest weapon of all. Because when you erase someone's past, you steal their future. This isn't about conspiracy. This is about truth. And today, we're going to uncover what they don't want you to know about history. Let's start with this. History isn't neutral. It's not objective. It's not fair. History is written by the winners, which means for every empire that rose, another one fell and was forgotten. For every hero they celebrate, there's another they silenced. For every truth they taught, there's a truth they buried. They want you to believe that what's in the textbook is the full story, but it's not. It's a carefully crafted narrative. Whole cultures erased, revolutions rewritten, massacres turned into conflicts, injustice turned into progress. And you wonder why people walk around with no sense of identity, no connection to their roots, no knowledge of their power? Because the past was stolen, on purpose. We're told that modern man is the peak of intelligence, but that's a lie. The ancient world was far more advanced than we've been led to believe. The pyramids, still not fully understood. Structures aligned with the stars, built with mathematics we barely comprehend. In Africa, Asia, the Americas, there were thriving civilizations, with medicine, astronomy, architecture, and spiritual systems that rival anything we have today. But they don't teach that. Because if you knew how advanced your ancestors were, you'd stop seeing yourself as a descendant of struggle, and start seeing yourself as royalty. You'd walk in power. You'd demand respect. You'd connect with something deeper. But they erased that. They whitewashed history and made sure your origin story was one of slavery, not sovereignty. Let's talk about the darkest part of history, the part they rushed through in school. Slavery wasn't just about chains. It was about erasure, erasing language, erasing names, erasing belief systems, erasing entire cultures. And colonization? It wasn't discovery. It was destruction. They don't tell you how many millions were killed. They don't tell you how many sacred temples were burned. They don't tell you how entire civilizations were wiped off the map, just so a few countries could get rich. They renamed you, rebranded your gods, rewrote your scriptures, and then told you to be grateful. That's not education. That's brainwashing. Even the Bible, the most sacred text in the world, has been manipulated. Don't get it twisted. God is real. Jesus is real. But the way religion was weaponized, that's another story. They took spiritual truth and turned it into political power. They used the church to control empires, to justify colonization, to silence the masses, to keep people obedient instead of free. The same message of love and liberation was twisted into fear and domination. And in the process, they hid sacred books, removed scriptures, changed translations, and made God look like them instead of looking like you. But the truth, God isn't a race. God is spirit, and He dwells in all of us. Let's go back to school, because this is where the real erasure happens. What did they teach you? Dates, wars, Kings and queens, whitewashed victories. But what didn't they teach you? How the Moors brought light to Europe. How Timbuktu had libraries while Europe was in the Dark Ages. How native nations had complex democracies and land stewardship systems. How black, brown, and indigenous people were inventors, scholars, and spiritual leaders. None of that made it into your textbooks. Why? Because if you knew the truth, you wouldn't need their system to feel powerful. You wouldn't need their approval to feel worthy. You wouldn't bow. You'd rise. If they can control what you believe about the past, they can control how you behave in the present. If you think your people never built, you won't build. If you think your ancestors were savages, you'll reject your roots. If you think the oppressor was the savior, you'll keep asking him for permission. This is psychological warfare. It's not just about erasing names from history books. It's about erasing your will to fight, your pride, your purpose. And that's why this is deeper than education. This is spiritual war. But guess what? The truth is coming out. We're reclaiming the narrative. We're unearthing buried knowledge. We're connecting to our ancestors. We're reviving suppressed wisdom. This is more than history. This is legacy. And it's time you stop seeing yourself as a victim of history and start living as a maker of it. You come from kings and queens, from visionaries and warriors, from scientists and sages. The system wanted you to forget, but now you remember. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can for you and for the world around us.